Welcome, everyone. It's so great, honestly, to look out in this crowd and see so many friends, so many colleagues who contributed to this effort and who made this possible today. I could probably literally name about 90% of this room as people who contributed directly to the success of Downtown Geneva and to Geneva in general. I'd like first to recognize some of the folks in the room, obviously. Jack Marin, who's an exemplary leader, our partner in Ontario County, a visionary when it comes to thinking regionally about economic development in particular. Senator Nozzolio, of course, the governor. Bob Schick, president of Lions National Bank, who has been a major player in downtown Geneva, a major job creator and wealth builder in the Geneva community. Dr. Jose Acevedo, who's the president of Finger Lakes Health, another integral community partner in our development and our overall success. Dr. Nye from Finger Lakes Community College. We know that our economic development efforts are bolstered by the presence of two SUNY institutions and a great private college partner in Hobart and William Smith colleges, and there's a lot of staff here today, including Vice President Rob Flowers. Sage Gerling, who co-piloted this application process with me. I'm thankful to have her here. She's our Director of Neighborhood Initiatives. Charlie Evangelista, who is our city supervisor, along with Supervisor Benzowitz, Supervisor Vidora, and 8 of 9 Geneva City Councilors. Welcome. Thanks so much. There's a lot of words to describe downtown Geneva's trajectory over the last 10 years. We used a lot of them in our presentations over the last couple of months and in our development of our materials. The word that sticks with me most is momentum. We have taken lots of small successes and packaged them into big, big impact in downtown Geneva. In our community, we rarely seek out one major player to make things possible. We rely on collaboration, intergovernmental collaboration between the state, the county, the city, collaboration with our private sector partners, and I can tell you that the Geneva City Council has made a commitment to be inclusive when it comes to our planning efforts. We never undertake a serious endeavor without sitting down with the community and having a conversation about it, and much of our success is owed to that dialogue. Downtown Geneva is an economic engine. There are 1,500 jobs in the Geneva Industrial Park. That's a big deal for the city of Geneva, for a city of 13,000 people. 1,500 jobs in the Geneva Industrial Park. There are 1,500 jobs in downtown Geneva, with over 220 firms. Downtown is the center of our strength. It's the core of our success. We've built upon it. We started there. We've had lots of debates about where economic development should go, and it all came back to downtown. We invested there, and our investments have paid off. We have the opportunity to build on our progress, continue to transform this important hub into a magnet for private investment, jobs, and retaining our most important asset, our community's youth. We're taking a major step today toward securing a bright future for our city by bringing more jobs and investment and improving the quality of life in our community overall. I thank Governor Cuomo, our state partners, for recognizing the city's potential and helping us to build upon our strengths. It's with great enthusiastic pleasure that I welcome the Governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be back. I'm sorry for keeping you up late and bringing you out late, but I had bad news. I wanted to deliver it myself. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's give a round of applause to Matt Horn and thank him for all his good work. To Jack Marin, and let's thank him for his great leadership as chairman. We do a lot together. It's a pleasure to be with you. Charlie Evangelista, who's been a good friend for many years, even when I was back in the federal service. Let's give him a round of applause to Charlie Evangelista. And you have one of my colleagues from Albany who is a truly extraordinary public servant. When they talk about why you go into public service and going into public service for all the right reasons because you want to make a difference. This is the man who should be the icon for the highest principle and the highest integrity, Senator Mike Mazzolio. Pleasure to be with you. First, you have such a beautiful spot here. I hope you remember it every day and you don't take it for granted. Every time I come back, I am just amazed at just how perfect and beautiful it is. You couldn't design a better place. You couldn't paint a more beautiful picture of Mother Nature. It really is a great, great asset. And it's an asset that for many years was not developed properly and was not maximized. That's true all across upstate New York. Truth is, upstate New York had a bad period economically. I was with a fellow in Buffalo one day, and he said, when it comes to the economy, we had a bad 40 years. And I laughed. And he said, I'm not kidding. It's been a bad 40 years. It sounds like it should be a joke, but it's not a joke. Upstate New York suffered. Manufacturing economy turned. We were all about manufacturing, Erie Canal, etc. And then upstate New York had to retool to find out what was the economy of tomorrow. And they looked to the state to be a partner, and frankly, the state government was absent. And I've said this publicly, and it's painful, but the state government was too focused on downstate New York and not focused enough on upstate New York. And I say that as a person who is originally from downstate New York. Because when a community has to go through an economic transformation, somebody has to help. It takes money to make money. You're going to retool. You need a partner to help you finance. And the state government wasn't there. Very short-sighted of the state government because we're one state at the end of the day. It's even short-sighted for downstate New York because it's one state, one set of books. If upstate doesn't make money, downstate pays the bills anyway. So it really was short-sighted. We came in, we turned that philosophy 180 degrees. We have focused on upstate economic development like a laser beam. And I am very proud to say that my administration has invested more in upstate New York, $25 billion, more than any administration in the history of the state of New York. And I am proud of it because it's an investment and because it's smart. And there's potential wherever you look in upstate New York. There was so much potential for economic activity. We've maximized just a few of them in the past few years. We took the tourism industry, which was a gold mine for New York State. We brought back the I Love New York campaign. Remember I Love New York? It had gone away. We brought back the I Love New York campaign. Thanks to the legislature and the wisdom of good senators like Senator Mazzolio, we invested $130 million in the I Love New York campaign, primarily to advertise upstate New York. $130 million is a lot of money, right? Tourism revenue increased $8 billion, believe it or not, with that investment. So those kinds of investment I'll make all day long. We have 50 million tourists coming to New York City internationally, 50 million every year. All we have to say is, you like New York City? We have a lot more to show you. There's a whole state behind New York City. So tourism, and once they come to upstate New York and they see what we have, they come back and they come back and they come back. What we've done with the wine industry and the investment we've made in the wine industry. Now, you were there first with Seneca Lake, but the wine industry has been a gold mine. The dairy industry, the yogurt industry. We make more Greek yogurt than Greece. How do you like that? So many potential avenues, as well as advanced manufacturing. We're now doing photonics. We're doing nanotechnology. It's just amazing. So the potential was there. You needed a partner, and the state of New York is proud to be your partner, and I'm proud we're doing it. Two big economic engines, places to invest, nationwide as well as across this state. First, connections with institutions of higher learning. You look at where the jobs are coming from, Silicon Valley. It's the institutions of higher education where you come up with the next idea for technology or biotech or whatever it is, and then the commercialization of that idea into a new business. We have the best universities in the country. We were just not focused on the economic connection to the university. A university today is not just a university. It's an incubator for businesses. And that's how you have to think of it. We've changed the orientation of our SUNY system, which is one of the best in the country, to say you're not just SUNY. You're now SUNY, and you're also a business generator and a business incubator. That's engine number one. The second engine are downtown areas. Why? Because people like people. People like most people, or some people like people. But downtown areas where we come together, there's a sense of energy, sense of culture, there's recreation. That's what people want, especially more and more nowadays, especially young people, millennials. They don't like to be called young people. Millennials. Also retirees who are moving back to downtown areas because they don't want the suburban community, they don't want the commute, they're not there for the schools anymore. So investing in these downtown areas is vital. And we have been doing both all across the state. We just ran a competition for the best downtown revitalization plans. Why a competition? Because the taxpayer dollars are very important, and we want to invest in the best plans, and I believe in competition to get the best plans. Because if you just said, I'm going to give you a check, well, okay, relax and wait and I'll get my check. If we say it's a competition, now you have to work, now you have to think, and now you have to be creative. 100 plans were submitted for downtown revitalizations. Of the 100, we were only going to pick 10. Actually, 122 if you want to be specific. We were only going to pick 10. So it was less than a 1 in 10 chance. So the competition was very stiff, and everybody knew that going in. But it made their game come up. You put in an application that I think was tremendously smart. You're looking at your main asset, right? That is the magnet, that lake. Mother Nature only made one of them, right? And you happen to have it. How do you connect the downtown area with that lake? How do you make that marriage? How do you get the energy and the attraction from that lake to the downtown area, right? How do you handle Route 20? Now, I've been around so long, I went through this in the late 90s. I was HUD secretary and financed the Ramada Inn that's next door, right? And we were so excited about that because that was actually on the lake and it was actually maximizing the resource. So how do you maximize the proximity and the connection with the lake? How do you maximize the educational institutions, the partnership with Hobart? How do you remove some of the blighted commercial areas and residential areas that are in that community that are now detracting from the growth? How do you bring more commercial activity, banking activity, Lions Bank? You hit all the right keys. And how do you bring the community together and the partnership together in a regional context so you're all working together and pushing in the same direction? That is exactly the formula for success. It's easy to say, it's very hard to do. You did it. Congratulations, you've won $10 million to revitalize Downtown Geneva. You know, I know it's been a long haul upstate. And I know we've seen a lot of young people move away over the years, and there was a lot of hardship. But it really is a different day in New York. You see it all across the board. All the arrows are pointed in the right direction. We finally read the gospel, and we brought taxes down in the state of New York, because we understand you can't keep raising taxes and expect people to pay. We just finished the budget. I'm not going to say whose idea it was, me or Mike's, but we reduced taxes for the middle class up to $300,000. The tax rate is at the lowest rate in 70 years, believe it or not. So we're bringing taxes down. Jobs are coming up. We now have 7.9 million private sector jobs in the state, more private sector jobs than have ever existed in the state of New York. That's something to be happy about and something to be proud of. Unemployment is coming down almost by half all across the state. Unemployment is coming down as fast in upstate New York as it is in downstate New York, which hasn't happened before. So the economic success is a shared success, upstate and downstate. And now, with this revitalization grant, I think Geneva is going to be stronger than it has ever been. Congratulations, you deserve it. Use it well.
Governor Cuomo, thank you. To the City Council, to Matt Horn, to the Business Improvement District and John Hicks and his team, I want each of you to stand up and get the appropriate applause you need. Matt, the City Council, Bid, congratulations. John. This is a wonderful day for the city, and you might not recognize all the faces of the City Council. I do, because I religiously watch your proceedings on cable television. Governor, so nice of you to make this announcement. So nice of you to be here in person. And I'd like to share, as I stand before you, just a few thoughts about our governor. It didn't take me very long to learn that Governor Cuomo was in the same place as I am regarding government service. He joined government service because he wanted to do things. He wanted to make things happen. He wanted to help the people he serves. And early on, without fanfare, in his administration, he helped keep alive this grant that kept this building, a dream of the City Council, alive, and that, Governor, we stand and sit here today with this beautiful visitor center, and thank you for your efforts to make that happen. The Viticulture Center, we talked about the wine industry. Our region is becoming more and more blessed with wineries that are growing enormous numbers, and those wineries need trained workers. They need people who understand the business and are trained through their education to be the vintners of tomorrow, to be the winery workers of tomorrow, to be the wine marketers of tomorrow. And that was the establishment of the Viticulture Center. Our president of Finger Lakes Community College, your predecessor, helped put that together. And Lieutenant Governor Cuomo was here for that announcement. We're glad, Governor, that you helped with those funds. And that was tangible. It was real. It's things that will help future generations of Finger Lakes residents far beyond the tenures that we serve now. One last item. And the Governor talked about making things happen that will jumpstart the economy, playing on our strengths. One of the unsung jewels of this region is the experiment station at Geneva, the applied research arm of the land-grant college of the state of New York, Cornell University's land-grant college, a college that the wine industry grew because of the science done at the experiment station. We have these wineries not by accident, but because people understand the soil, the chemistry, the biology, the botany necessary to make great wines. And that experiment station is something that the governor has helped time and time again, whether it was multi-millions of dollars, the largest grant that they've received in a generation. And I see Director Tom Burr here. I don't know if Director Susan Brown is here today, but they have helped make this experiment station second to none in terms of world-class research. But they need the tools. And Governor Cuomo was helpful to us in getting the tools of the great, now new greenhouses that are there. Also helped with Dan Wegman of Wegmans Foods, with John Ledestri of Constancio Foods, in convincing them as private entrepreneurs to support the establishment of the first of its kind in the Northeast, in all of the United States, a hyperbaric chamber that will put the experiment station apart, doing the science, the job growth, the technology of the future for the food industry. And that led to the creation of the Cornell Institute for Food Safety, something that will be part of the Geneva community for generations to come. Governor Cuomo and I put aside all partisan differences. I admire Governor Cuomo's attention to detail, his focused attention on getting things done, the removal of the toxicity of the debate that led to the dysfunction we've seen in Albany over time, with on-time budgets replacing dysfunction, with focused attention on upstate and the upstate economy. Governor, I'm glad to have you here today. I'm certainly glad to have the opportunity to thank you for the work that we have done together, but your leadership made it happen. I've been glad to be your partner on the important things for the Finger Lakes region, and honored to represent this wonderful region for 22 years in the state Senate, for 10 years in the state assembly, that this is the greatest place on earth. Governor, thank you for helping to make things happen right here in the Finger Lakes. It's an honor to represent you. Thank you very, very much.
It's hard to follow $10 million and decades of leadership in the New York State Senate, but I'll try to do my best in closing. The real work begins today. That's a little bit of a misstatement because we've been doing real work, and it shows. And so the real work continues today, and it continues with the support of New York State. As Senator Nozzolio points out, this building is a testament to our partnership over the last 10 years, as is the magnificent work that's been done out front already and continues to be done with the support of the regional councils and the support of our elected officials in Albany. We get things done in Geneva through partnership. That's what drives this community. And I couldn't ask for better partners than the folks I have in this room today. The people in this room get it. We don't have to sell it to you. You understand it, and you're what makes Geneva a great community. We're going to take this investment from New York State and prove Governor Cuomo right when he says this is going to propel us forward and cement upstate New York as the destination of the future. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your evening.